Okay, welcome. Today we're doing some Minecraft, and specifically a sort of tribute to the past generations, uh, um, looking at how my world would have evolved um, in some way or another, I suppose. Um, Basically, I generated a world which I put onto a server when we're at Java 1.12. And then, it's been updated throughout the uh, upgrades through 1.13, 1.14, 1.15, 1.16, 1.17, then 1.18. The uh, algorithm was changed quite massively. Also, you'll probably notice that we have moved, which is why I haven't been doing some streams. So, and my computer runs too hot. This room is insulated, so it gets really hot in here with my computer running and stuff like that. And it's a hot day as well, so I've been trying to keep the gaming to a minimum kind of thing, processing power anyway. Um, but all my cooling gear has arrived, and it's a lot. We've got 9 of these, 3 radiators, a whole heap of splitters, junctions, connectors, all that jazz. So we've got about 2.5 grand's worth of liquid cooling to install into this beast. And so it'll have 1500 watts of cooling power, that is. It only has one pump and stuff like that, so that one pump can pump up to 3 meters straight up, so that's the head pressure level. So it's quite good. So I'll be able to get rid of the 240, the ML 240 course. Of course, no, it's Cool Master. The ML 240 RGB, which did work well in the other case that I had, which was a ITX based case. So the cooling efficiency of that case suited this particular radiator, but in this case, not so much. So yeah, it's overheated a few times. But the big problem I had some time ago was not enough power to run the GPU as well, because we're running a 3080 and we're playing Minecraft on a 3080. But okay, so this is going to be sort of like a tribute to these worlds that they're still supported in their respective server or game profiles. Like the Java edition will continue to support Java-based worlds, and Bedrock will continue to support Bedrock-based worlds, and so forth like that. But if you go to generate a new world based on the same seed, you'll get a completely different world from 1.18 onwards. So this is kind of why we're doing a tribute. So let's have a look at our world first, which should be this one. This is the one I had loaded onto the server. It's still on the server. This is just a backup of it. So I respawned up here. I love how the beds are bouncing. I know they've been bouncy for a while, but yeah, at one point they weren't bouncy. So, so we'll go down from the top of our tower, which is like 192 blocks tall. So this will take a bit of time. I've recorded this before, and things didn't go so well. I ran out of space, basically. Then I tried to record directly to my network drive, and that went horrendously bad. So that's 3 hours worth of recording that I'm just starting all over again, so I got a smooth, continuous thing, and after each look through, I suppose, of the various worlds, it's going to be all the same world, but all generated from scratch. Well, they've already been all regenerated, but at each version level and so forth. You'll see what I'm. You can also notice that I've adjusted some of the sound settings as well. So it was way too soft before. I kept having to do everything. So we went a little too low. I wanted to go back up here so you can get a good overview. On the tower anyway. It's at floor 9, or is it 7? That's 6. Each of these floors is 7 blocks high. That's 7, 8, this is 9. Okay, here we go. So that's the starting area, that's where we spawn in first. You'll see when we go check out Minecraft 1.12. That's the village that I first came across in 1.12. The second village is over there, again in 1.12. Then I explored over there. I did map out a few areas. So that's as far as we can see at the moment. Got the settings all at max, of course. The floor just below my bedroom area was the armory, as it was. Has all the various armors I was doing that. We'll get back up a bit. This is like floor 2. And this is like where the patio is, kind of thing. And the whole idea behind this was to support friends and nephews and stuff like that who would log into the server, but it took so long to set everything up. Like I've got the server set up and all that now, but yeah, it took a really long time because I didn't really have the funds or the resources to set up a dedicated computer. Still kind of don't, but I have built 2 computers, so my old computer is done and dusted. So here's this thing. I'll quickly show you guys how it works, just in case you guys have no idea. I'm not too worried about any of that. I will have to make a new pickaxe, yes, I will. Okay, there you go. A little bit excessive, but yeah. Anyway, you've got the chest there, which takes... Actually, they input coal into here. No, they take coal from here and input coal into there via that one. That's the input for this box here. Then there are 2 furnaces back here. Take a coal each from this chest. Takes the wood from here. Turns it into coal. Output through these hoppers down here, which go to this one, which then go to these droppers, which go all the way up there, which I probably messed this up a little bit. Just show me my inventory. No, I did not pick up any redstone, so it should be fine the way it is. So yeah, we need that block. That block is part of the conduit. The 2 blocks here might have been part of it too, but we can double check that. Just get it running. So guys can see and diagnose and fix if need be. I forgot I'm in creative mode, that's why I'm going to be excessive in a few spots. That did not work. Let's just take some of these, put them in here, and we'll go through there a bit. But just a few things I want to show, you know. I'm sure I haven't shown this. This is the sort of stuff that you can find on YouTube anyway. So they're all fired up now. They're fully loaded with coal anyway. When the output comes out here, and these fire off, and they haven't fired off properly, so probably messed that up, but whatever. There we go. I think. Yeah. There we go. Now nothing more. So yeah, it's very quiet. Enchanting with all the bookshelves to max it out. Some manual versions of them. Put some stuff. You put stuff in the chest up here. It goes down into the input here. Put stuff in, put coal in there, and then go into the coal here. Output go into these chests. There's a standalone manual one by itself, but yeah. So I set those up just in case. All these resources here. Just hit pause if you want to see them. But, you know, pretty standard stuff. This was new when I put it down, so I can't remember when that was. It's been a hell of a long journey. And then we've got the farm out here. These resources here. All sorts of resources. My mining pit, which was the second mining pit, which I harvested out, and even harvested a lot underneath as well. The stone to build the damn thing. It didn't look like this, and you'll see how it used to look. But I basically leveled this entire ground. Got some command blocks, which goes to that over there. It's supposed to be complementary. It doesn't work because some settings changed. But yeah, this one outputs a tree there. The command block detects that it was outputted by this one. And if there's a dirt block underneath it, it'll plant it. Then this one starts firing off bone meal, which is in that chest, which goes there, and the seeds go in here. And all this fire off when a tree has grown to there. That limits the growth of the tree. And that just relays the signal from that to here, and that one relays signal there, it fires off around here, which then plants another tree. Cycle starts again. This one is the noisy version of the thing repeater down there, but it just outputs all the bone meal there. And this is a manual start button for the tree. Outputted a tree. This is hello world because I was diagnosing it. Basically all the seeds have different names now. So you've got oak seeds and whatnot instead of the saplings, oak sapling, dark oak sapling, stuff like that. So all the types have changed to be more specific. This little doodad here detects when a tree has been pushed from here, because once that detects there, it pushes all these. Then the tree then gets pushed over here, and then over here, and over here. When this one detects a tree here, all these pistons here will push it out until it gets up to about here, which is the limit of what it can do. So, as you can see, it's a pretty simple setup. It's the same up at the top too. Just a repeater to amplify the signals. pretty simple. Then we've got this one, which is an automatic sugarcane farm. We'll have a look at this one too. I just put the lights in there for the sake of it, so you can have it indoors and still grows, still works. When these doodads up here detect that the sugarcane is growing in front of it, it pushes the middle block, which then pushes the sugarcanes down into the water here most of the time, and go down into that hopper. And that clicking noise you hear is a repeater, which I should make it the same as the one in here. And basically that's it. Of course, you've got a whole heap of hoppers underneath here too, which serve as the transport from that hopper over there. Now if I remove that one, water will pour out. So then you've got droppers all the way through there. So it had problems powering all of them, so I power this one, which then powers all of that, and it automatically dispenses. But as you can hear, it's friggin' noisy. I just set it up this way just to sort out later. I got my base here, which is 64 by 64. My plants, which may not be the maximum size. Yeah, okay, it's by the looks of it. Then you got my trees, which probably sold fruit there as I chopped one down. Which are only 4 variants. This was the newest variant that I put in. I had troubles getting the seeds because there was only like 1 or 2 trees. And as I ran this particular direction here. So, yeah. This is the world, basically. It's not really that small because it doesn't have a limit. The nephews and kids and whatnot were playing on the Wii's and other platforms, so they were limited to one small area basically, so it was a bit of a pain for them. Poor little torch at the top there. Let's have a quick see the lava pit. The first area I mined out, and as you can see, the observation deck, which is there, that's where the clouds used to be. So the clouds are up here, so probably can build up to 512 or something like that now. So it goes further down below too now. Where there was bedrock, there's now another 64 blocks down. So this is the starting area I set up with a small farm, some supplies to get started. This is where I was first mining. There was a sort of tunnel over here which I blocked up kind of thing. Thought I blocked it up completely, but not, obviously not, so yeah. You'll get to see that evolve as well. So we'll quickly run over here. I'm trying to get this all done as quick as possible. You can see where I mined out, eh? There's a lot of blocks, and there's even a potential new mine shaft down here as well, underneath all this, which I found when doing this up. So yeah, I don't know why that's there. Probably Enderman, but yeah. I, yeah, pulled out a lot. Actually, one of the key features is right here, which it's meant to look more like a cross, but I turned it into this so that I, you know, don't want to offend anyone or anything like that. So, go to the first area here, first village. As you can see, it's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, about 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 8 to 10 farming beds. That will change. um, but yeah, as you can see, it's quaint. Some of these places didn't have doors, so I installed doors on them. I even made an iron golem for this place, but they tend not to visit. And as you can see, the new graphics on that one and Swan Patch. They never used to look like that, so yeah. So we'll go over this way. Oh yeah. Before we go, take a good look around here. Memorize all this as best as you can. I've already memorized as much of it as possible by playing it, but yeah, because you'll see a lot of it change as we go through the evolutionary process. The crevasse that I'm so familiar with. Fallen down here so many times, that's why I built a bridge and that one got exploded. That one got exploded too, but I fixed it up. I had the resources to do it. Didn't worry too much about that, just as long as people didn't fall down. We wander through here, over here. There's a few caves down here too, which you can't really see. I think one's around there. No. There's one there, which I've explored a little bit. Down there. There's a few around. And you got this place, which I've visited frequently. Again, you can see there's a number of farming beds around it. And that got exploded. Again, this is another place that had no doors for a lot of the buildings, so I put in doors. Made an iron golem, but as usual, they died way before they could serve any real friggin' purpose. The purpose? To save the villagers. What they ended up doing? Dying. Ah, dear. Anyway, so we come over here. See, that village there, this is all part of the 1.8 update kind of thing. 1.18, I should say. The update. Just taking note of all these caves and stuff. And ravines and whatnot. Because as we go through the process, you'll find that in every version prior to 1.18, that does not appear. That is actually a completely different biome. But it's also an area that's wasn't generated prior to 1.18 either, so that's why it looks different. You'll probably find that a fair bit in some of these areas where there'll be like a sudden change because I didn't explore prior to something changing. And those cacao trees and plants and stuff I got from here, somewhere around here. Like I said, there were only 1 or 2 trees and you just cannot find them anymore. Dear. But I didn't realize there were so many caves. Like, this is one of the first times, apart from the other recordings I tried to do, that I had a good aerial view. So, yeah. Anyway, let's head over to the other village that I'm familiar with. This is one swamp area. There's many swamp areas. This swamp's small compared to the other areas. But you can see the eyesore of a tower, can't you? For a long way away. As long as you've got the right settings. The server can't render it that, because you can only render about 8 to 10 blocks before the server gets bogged down. It's not necessarily anything to do with the hardware, it's just the software can't handle it. So we go around here looking for landmarks. There's one witch's hut, so the other one should be there. There it is. These witch's huts only exist in 1.12, but as we generate the other worlds, well, they're already generated, and I don't think they're in 1.12, but they're not in any other version either. So it's weird that they ended up here. Well, that's probably the differences between server and not server. There we go, we've got another village. Take note of the position of the well and the farming areas, which there's plenty there of. Again, no doors on this one. Made an iron golem, it died. So much for trying to protect the villages, eh? Then we head back over this way. Oof. Right. Oh, there it is. Take note of back here, particularly over there. There's another village we're going to go to, which I usually either followed that river or went over that way. Came out and went past these hills. Yeah, I usually come across here. Skimming past the swamp. All the way. Keep going. Towards the end of this, that 1024 block chunk, there's the village. Again, it's half of it's embedded inside the hill, like the well there. Each of these wells, villages and wells, I'll put a map on and facing in such a way to tell one direction from one village from the other. So that the village we're at the moment is right there. And then our base is right there. The safe house is there. The first village is there. The other village, second village is there. Third village is there. This is the fourth village. Oh yeah. But so much of this was blown away by creepers when I was visiting that I did end up repairing it though. As you can see, there's not much damage. But yeah, as you can see, the only church in the area. So we continue this way to the new chunks, which is my recently explored chunk. I did explore all the north area as well, and the west area, east area. So this is the east area. I didn't find much noticeable in the north area. I didn't visit it that much. Past the swamp, and we'll just keep going and going and going. Go up this way. Look at all the various features. Try to remember as much as you can. And this is one of the issues I was talking about, how you got the changes, the change in water here. Like this would be about 1.13, I think, and this would be 1.14 or 1.15. So that's one of the biggest differences there. Of course, you can't. There are nether portals, aren't there? Yeah, there should be. Should be. Well, usually there is anyway. There's one there. There is another one, but I managed to lose its location. Don't ask me how. I thought it was on this island or on an island, but I can't find it for the life of me. But yeah, apparently there's a village over here as well. Never been to the village that's over here, or wherever it may be. Can't find it. So this must be before the village was spawned in this area. I think it's 1.6 and 1.7, 1.16 and 1.17 that a village spawns in that area. So yeah, then go back up this way. Computer's having a difficult time. Probably because it's overheating at the moment and I am sweating. Oh, there's another nether portal here, I think. Maybe that's the one I was missing. No, it's just a lava pit. Okay, so that's the general path we will follow. So, well, no, I don't have cheats turned on. But if we can't do that because I don't have cheats turned on. Well, I wanted to show you the maps, but we can view it another time because we'll end up coming back. Or I can do this, do that, do that, and then go TP070, something like that. Oh, a little higher. 0, 100, 0. Yep, there we are. So yeah, the respawn point has changed a few times. So apparently that's a new respawn point. The normal one, the one that's supposed to be is supposed to be over there, but just head back here quickly. Have a look at the map. As you can see, home base, village 1, village 2, village 3, village 4. And that's how much we've explored. And the other village that I was talking about is over here, and another one over here, I think. But there could be other villages here, like one might be there and another one might be around there. Same with over here. Then one might be there and another one might be here-ish. Yeah, but the woodland mansion, about 400,000 blocks this way. Yeah. I was going to go into the mines because that's what I did last time as well, but we'll quickly go into the nether. And build a platform because I kept falling off and having issues. So when I fall off, there's a staircase to get back up. There used to be a hell of a lot of glowstone around here, but I managed to harvest it. Build a passageway here and build another passageway here, which is to harvest. Go this way, up this way, and you can harvest glowstones. go back over this way. Oh, there we are. Number of times I've died in this place is unreal. Number of times I've been knocked off down there. Ah dear. I fought around here. Used to have mole creatures installed, so I used to have 100 pigmen come at me, 10 blazes, 3 ghasts. It was a pain in the ass. I can't. The mob spawners must be invisible now. Because there used to be blaze spawn there. Whoops, wrong one. Not there, but there as well. So yeah. But anywho, I'll go back to the overworld and switch over to Minecraft 1. I'm an idiot. But we all knew that already, didn't we? We'll switch over to Minecraft 1.12 and look at how the world would be if I explored those areas prior to updating each of them. Then we'll probably come back to this world and do a recap. Okay, now we've loaded up Java 1.12. This way we can see how the world would generate, so that way if we go past a certain point, then the world will continue to generate as if it was the same version. So you'll be able to see the differences. Like I said, I've already pre-generated all these worlds. I didn't show you the seed for the first world, the actual world that I've been using, but we'll show you the seed here, hopefully. Yeah, there it is. So, this is the respawn point, and I probably built the house over this way. But over here is where all the tunnels and stuff, so I probably built the house here, probably. Yeah, the tunnels are all here, kind of thing. Oops, the mouse is a little too fast. Dear. So yeah, that's not the one that we checked out last time, was it? Because the other one went over this way a bit more, I think. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. There's a few of them. But this is the first mine that I used. As you can see, it goes down a fair way. It's pretty expensive and such. There's a few number of ways through there, but we won't explore that right now. I might explore that at another time. So yeah, that's the respawn point. The key feature that I was talking about is over here. This is what it originally looked like before I modified it. As you can see, there's this here, not very big. And there might be another one over here, because I know caves will generate here from the last time I tried to do this series. Well, not really series, it's going to end up being one video, I think, but yeah. And now you can really understand how much I leveled this place out. I think I built my tower around here. The actual tower, I think, went right there. Thereabouts anyway. And I might have harvested all this out. This is the mining pit, so actually yeah, it's pretty much right in line with that, isn't it? But yeah. And that goes pretty far down. I did a lot of mining there as well. And harvested all this out, but it doesn't quite look right or the same, does it? But when you take the first few layers off, because I think this level here, right down here, is level 63, I believe. So yeah, so that takes it down quite a long way, and I know I did a lot of mining here, particularly in this spot here. I think there was a lot of loot and stuff. It probably even the hole will probably end up moving this way a fair bit as well. Sure, I mined half of this stuff out too, and made it more a direct route down there. But yeah, that's fine. But yeah, you can kind of understand now, eh? This is the crevasse I was talking about without the bridges. Yeah, it's pretty big. Horses and stuff like that, sheeps and whatnot, fall down there pretty easily. And I've pulled them out quite a few times. We'll go check out the first village. As you see, it's more or less the same. You can see there's no doors. Well, no door on that one. There's a door on that one. This is the blacksmith. No door on that one. No door on that one. Door, no door. And no door. I probably built another hut over here just to try and get it to generate a golem mine, but I don't think this level of game had a golem appearing every so often. These guys, that's a cartographer. Go figure. I think in my world he died. And this is the librarian, I think. Yeah, he died too, I'm sure. But yeah. Just have a look around here. Keep an eye out for any possible changes. The first change you'll probably see is the clouds are lower. So let's go over to the second area. Second village. There you go. Not much has changed with it. Still just as piss poor looking as ever. With no door on that one. Door and door. No door there, door there. Door. No door. 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 Yeah, in my world, I built a stairway up this way. I think from there and made it cascade up that way. No door. Door. Okay. So as you can see, there's a few doors that we're missing, and that would have been one of the things that would have stopped a golem mine appearing in here. So if there was such a thing at this juncture. Get it right. Yeah, take note of all the stuff over here because there's mines and caves and whatnot that will appear up here too. Didn't know that was up there. Hello. But yeah, it was quite nice. But as you can see, there's no village and it looks completely different. That's how it should look. Because in 1.18 the whole algorithm changed, it's merely trying to do a natural blend type of thing. And this is where I found the cocoa crap. I just can't find it from up here. Is that one of them? No, I don't think so. No, that's just oak. So let's see if I can find it. Because it probably doesn't exist in my world anymore. Because a number of times I tried to get the seeds, they just don't drop very often. So I'm trying to find it based on the texture of the tree, but no dice. And I often walked through here. Yep, I would often climb up through here or over here, walk along here and over here. And somewhere over here, amongst getting attacked by critters from Mole Critters mod, which means I had Forge installed as well, which probably tweaked a few of the variables as well, particularly in their generation, which means the tree that I probably harvested doesn't actually exist. Probably doesn't exist in this version of the game anyway, because I think it was a new addition. But we can have a look around. I know I spent a lot of time trying to find it. I had a lot of issues. I didn't realize there was this many trees though. Let's go to the next village, past the swamp here. Keep going until you see the next swamp. There's a witch's hut there. Well, over there actually, but yeah. There should be one over here too. There it is. That's more or less the route I used to take. I used to take the route along the river here, I think. But sometimes I would cross over into the swampland a few times and come around this way. Then come up this side over here and make my way through here. Sometimes I would come up through this way here. And there we go. This is what this one originally looked like. Not much difference, is there? Uh, yeah, that one's missing a door. That one's got a door. That one's got a door. 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 Was that door? No door. That was no door. Or door. No. No, I haven't watched that series either. And blacksmiths always come with no door, but let's open. Okay, moving on back over this way. There's the Numa village again. So we go from this village, and I would walk either that way or this way. Usually around this mountain, and across the river here. And that's the swamp area. And then skimming past the swamp area here. And we keep going as the Java Minecraft generates new parts of the world. And this is the village, and this is what it originally looked like. So you can see I did a pretty good job at trying to repair it. Not perfect, not to this level anyway, but I did a pretty good job for half of being blown away. And already we can see we've got no door there. Door. And some of these are buried. No door. No door on that one. Door. No door. Door. I don't remember that. Okay. Well then, no door. Door. And like I said, some of these doors are buried, I think. Or they're just there. So yeah. Often they would come without doors. But yeah. Show you, get you a snapshot there. Then we head this way. Churches don't have, they're just empty buildings basically. Not like the newly generated churches which have that stained in it for alchemy. This is that area. You can see it's a bit different. Not vastly different, but you'll find that some things were vastly different, some things aren't vastly different. Like in the next version, we'll see that the respawn point is completely different. And it slightly changes in the next versions up and whatnot. But the biggest thing you can notice is that it's all one color now. Don't have the dark blue, then the lighter blue. There's no portals or anything here. There's no village that I can see. Nope. Stop jumping around like that. I know you're having difficulties. It just needs a bit of time to calm down and relax. It's getting too excited. Anyway, that concludes this round trip for now. So you can see we're doing like up to about 4,000 blocks we're viewing, width, depth wise, and all that sort of stuff. Well, of course, we're actually flying over way more than that, like a few 100 million. Anyway, we'll leave that there, and we'll come back with 1.13. See you in a bit. Here we are at 1.13. So let's have a look. There, 1.13 generated world. First, we'll check the seed. As you can see, it's the same seed. But you can immediately tell that we've got a different respawn point. If we go up, yeah, you can start to see a lot of differences. Like there's a pool there, the a crevasse there, but you also notice that the crevasse that was running across here is gone. And there's a pool there and another pool there. Those pools were already there, but yeah. Of course, the first thing you would have noticed is that big ass cave. As you probably can see, I think it was there. Yeah, I think about here-ish. Yeah, about here-ish was where my mine was at one point, but you can't see it now. It's probably about there. That's probably the new point of entry for it. But yeah, got some iron down there by the looks of it. So I'll go have a look at the old starting area. That's one of the tunnels. It just became more obvious. And you can see that the tree is made further ingress. I think the mining spot should be in here somewhere. It's in a bit different location. I think it's around where this water is. No, yeah, it's here. It's moved a fair bit, but yeah. But the trees have made a fair bit of ingress. Because, and of course the world feature, well, I'll call it the world feature, is still here. And right about here is where I would have made the house and the farm over here, perhaps. And the actual mine spot location was about here, I think. So yeah, you can see there's quite a substantial difference. This is first of many. Of course, my computer doesn't like it too much, but yeah, we'll go to the first village. And you can see some differences. Still got a lot of, quite a bit of farmland, but you see more houses. They almost all of them have doors. As I was about to say before, I realised that two of them don't have doors. But there's a church, but no blacksmith by the looks of it. No door on that one either. The entry for the yeah, the entry for the place is down there somewhere. I didn't realise that was there either. The library is more of an actual library. Well, that door's half buried too. And the other big features here is another big crevasse. Have a look around, and then we head over to the next one. And you can see this has pretty much turned 90 degrees with more obvious cave formations. It looks like there's one over there too. Maybe not, but there, yeah. Uh, they get even more obvious. But yeah, no, yeah, there's some obvious ones there. But yeah, and it looks like we've got fewer houses here this time. But we also got less farming land, I'm sure. But the houses aren't all the way up here, kind of thing, you know. And before I open my big mouth again, check this out. Yeah, I'm missing some doors. So yeah. Okay, moving on. I know that my controller's a bit jerky. And look at that. Right, it's still up there. Oh, look at that. That was weird. It's like that other house in 1.12. It's like the computer gave up halfway. Got some lava over there. Now, of course, there's no village here. Again, it's all just one biome across there. Go back over this way. Let my computer settle a little bit. It's not my computer that's the problem, it's Java. Java is like another programming level on top of another programming level on top of the system files and stuff like that. So it doesn't run very well. It does run, just never has run very well. Yeah, still can't see the tree that I harvested. But when I did this before, I couldn't find it either, so I have no idea how far I went in to harvest it. I know the texture is not the same as these ones. Maybe it was over here. No, it's strange. Half a tree comes in. No, I couldn't tell you. But the new world I made in Bedrock, in the Bedrock version, I can show you those trees like that. And I showed you in my base that they're there. It's like there's a collision happening, and some of the parts of the world aren't forming correctly. Never noticed before. You know, well, there's a half a tree over that way that could do with you. Now, the first thing you might notice here, you may not until I point it out to you, is the witch's huts aren't where they're supposed to be. Crevasse. Yeah, there's a witch's hut way over there, but there used to be one over here, another one over here, which no longer exists. Find a half a tree and stick to it. Jesus. And as you can see, this area has changed a fair bit too. There's one without a door on it. There you go. There's another one without a door on it, of course. But it doesn't look like there's any blacksmith here either. Purple shirt. Ooh, purple shirts. Okay, heading over this way. As fast as Java will let me. Okay, turn over here. I can used to head down that way or over this way to get past these mountains. Stop jerking me around. Nope, he's still gonna jerk me around. I gave you all that time and he's still jerking me off. It doesn't like all the work it has to do. Of course, my computer's going almost balls to the wall. It's probably using about 50% power. Nope, 21%, 15, 10, 8, 10, 16, 14, 8. So yeah, less than a quarter potential power. Same with the GPU as well. So yeah, that just tells you how crap uh, Java is at the moment. I'm getting like 10 frames per second. Let me just see if I can. I know I can turn that off, but I want to turn this down a little bit. Just make it 16. 15 will do then. Not quite as bad. But yeah, the village should be over here. And there it is. As you can see, it's substantial change as well. It's all moved down the mountain a bit. Watch out, zombie! And there's less of the houses around. There's nothing down here yet? No, not yet. There's a swamp area, and it looks like it's grown to me. Let me go this way. More half a tree. And you can see coloured of the ocean. I think this one brings ocean temples and stuff with it too. Pretty sure that's a underwater structure down here. Which is not here in 1.12. As you can see, the ocean, the sea is, the water is much different compared to 1.2, 1.12. Like the sea biome's not split down the middle. Dear. I'll have a look and see if there's any villages. No, but then, oh no, there is over here. I mean, we looked in 1.12, we're in 1.13 at the moment. I think so, anyway. Yeah. And of course you got the swampy area here, which looks bigger. So yeah. You think that because all these worlds are already pre-generated, you'd think it wouldn't be that hard for the computer to process it, but yeah. It's probably because I'm recording at the same time, which is taking a lot of disk activity away from Java, which Java doesn't like. Minecraft is a very heavy disk usage program, so anyway, that will do it for 1.13. I think it's 1.13. And we'll look at the next one for now. Yeah, 1.13. Okay, see you in a bit. Here we are with 1.14. We'll have a look at, oops, because I already loaded it up, then I came back out to do the recording. Oh, well, here we'll do the seed so I can have a look. Same seed, and yet even different respawn point. Slightly different, but not that much different. It was a bit further back there, I think. Yeah, this forest grew a bit. The starting area. Look, we've got to look at the signature. Look at that, it's still there. And as you can see, the forest and water has made more ingress. Yeah, it looks like it's still there. The mine shaft or whatever you want to call it, cave, exploration area. But yeah, the tunnels here's gone. Leaving only the tunnel over here, I think. Well, down there anyway. Oh yeah, we haven't been checking these out, have we? Look at that. Yeah, this one wasn't quite as big in the previous one either. But I'll have to try and remember to check them out a bit more. But yeah, the crevasse is still there, maybe a little bit longer. The mining shaft is almost completely gone. And of course the village has been spread out a bit more and apparently deserve 2 churches. And market stalls and a bell. It looks like there's doors just about everywhere, so there should be a golem mine, a golem walking around. Yeah, there he is. And the crevasse has expanded with a house floating over the top of it. Oh, yeah, spread out a fair bit, isn't it? Hmm. And here you can see the village has sort of come into this mountain here. Mountain of dirt. And it's expanded this way a fair bit. But one thing you probably will notice is that there's not as many farming beds as there were. This place has a golem as well. At least these ones have a chance to survive anyway. Oh, look at that. Oh, snow. Never really come across snow before when doing this, but anyway. And again, the village over there is not there. Again, it's only a 1.18 thing. Just had to be raining, eh? Oh well. That's a bit different, isn't it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're not past or even went up this way. A bit further. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. Just can't remember. I swear it was in this section of the map area. But not as far as past the mountain. That's probably over here somewhere now. Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, it must have been part of the forge modifications. Oh well, doesn't matter. Just that witch's hut over there. No witch's hut in here. Go have a look at the crevasse. Look at that. Mm. And this village has changed drastically too. Instead of a well, they got a feature tree with 2 bells, one on either side of it. This place probably has an iron golem too. Put his cat. There he is. But yeah, it's expanded right out. Well, it's more sparse than others, but yeah. Blacksmith. More cats. Hmm. We go back this way. Open mountains. Cross the river. Check out the swamp. Which I swear is bigger. Yeah. I only used to accumulate this area, I think, in this portion. But now it's all this area. And this village looks like it's got a massive change as well. They've got a building down here. Several buildings down here. Compost farm. Oh. Yeah, there he is. I was about to say, probably got a golem. And there he is. Mm. It's only that one village, I think. Oh no, the first village that I went to was had market stalls around its bell. And this one area is, I don't know, certainly more noticeable. Poetry, surrounded by lava. Looks like that structure is still there. Bit of a change over there, isn't it? Seems that way to me. Oh, we've got an actual hole here now. Whether it was in the last one too, I don't know. There's so many things to try and take note of. So I'm sure you guys will have noticed more than I have. That village should be over here. Look at that. Quite big now, isn't it? Sure, Superman flying by. Is that a building? Is that a plane? Nah, it's just OP being a dick. OP being operator. Not overpowered. So many nomenclatures to remember. And did that get bigger? I swear it's gotten bigger. Okay, and that's 1.14. Same world. Slightly different generation of things, but we'll move on to the next one, 1.15. See you in a bit. Here we are with 1.15. This one. And again. Looks like a different spawn point, doesn't it? Let's stay here. Interesting. Hmm. Okay, let's check out over here. Certainly a lot more water around than what there used to be. Like, this has definitely made inroads. Yeah, it's still there. But yeah, house used to be around here. Farm, mine. Hmm. Of course, we can't go past this thing, can we? It's a one thing that virtually doesn't change. And that's why I call it the signature. It's stupid, but yeah. Hmm. Not a huge lot of changes, but yeah. You can definitely see there's no lava or anything like that, eh? This village has not changed that much. Hmm. Could have sworn it changed quite a bit between 1.4 and 1.5, but it's still got two churches. Still got these houses, this house floating over the crevasse, which is bigger and wider. Hmm. Probably have a few more houses though. But yeah, you can definitely see there's like not much farming going on. Okay, next one. Again, not too much change. Probably a few more houses or slightly different types of houses. A little bit of farming going on. That's turned into a crevasse, isn't it? Hmm. Again, no village over there. Like in the previous ones, I've gone over there to see if there actually was a village or not, but no, there's not. And these are the same worlds as I used last time. I didn't delete them and regenerate them. But yeah, there's a few more mining spots around, I think. More water. I remember this place being like a friggin' desert. Again, no cacao trees. Yeah, that's the dangers of having Forge and mods installed. They change variables ever so slightly, but it changes the way the world is generated. And I managed to harvest the only one or two there were. Weird. Which makes a lot out of me, doesn't it? So the only thing I can really do is load up 1.2, install Forge mods, and see what happens. You know, generating a new world with that. If that's something you're interested in seeing, comment in the video, leave a comment, and we'll have a look. I'm not opposed to it. But I'm more interested in at the moment in finding out what has changed in the original versions over the time, you know. And there has been quite substantial changes, not enough to affect a huge overall map. Like when you look on online map viewers and stuff like that, the world virtually stays unchanged. That's gotten wider and longer. Mm. But when you go to 1.18, that's it. The whole reason why I'm doing this is because the algorithm of 1.18 between Java and Bedrock match closer together, whereas before they used quite different algorithms to generate a world, so the world never really looked the same. So you couldn't really port one to the other. But with 1.18 you can. But there are still massive differences. Like in the Java version of 1.18, you got tons more villages, tons of mansions virtually everywhere and stuff like that. It's like Bedrock version doesn't. So there still needs to be some tweaking there. But you can see the village has changed quite a bit. I think these villages are more spread out. But it's still got its feature tree. So when I ported this version, the world that I was using before, into Bedrock, I had some massive changes, issues. Like where the segments that weren't explored, there were massive walls. Where the world generation was obviously different by a long shot. But that's because the mode to import a world into one from convert from Java to Bedrock was to import a world into another world, hopefully with the same regeneration settings, same seeds and stuff like that. And of course, with the algorithms being different, it does not work. Now, the only reason why my server can continue to operate and still generate the world somewhat differently, but blended better, is largely because it still supports those old methods. Or at least I hope it does. Otherwise, it could end up looking more like Bedrock. But yeah, because this seed for these worlds does not work anymore. Look at that. A few more houses here. I think this is the one that's changed the most. Like whereas before you could convert the seeds within a certain range. Because the big difference is that Bedrock uses a 32-bit seed. Java uses a 64-bit variable holder, but it only uses 48 bits. So there's a huge discrepancy there. And I think this seed is beyond the scope or the capability of Bedrock to be able to support in the same manner that Java can. Yeah, they're still there, by the looks of it. That's something at least. have a look at this village over here. Yeah, not huge changes. Mm. All right, blast furnace. But I think they're using stone now rather than wood. I think they were using wood before. Looks like the swampy area's changed a bit too, shrunk a little bit. Okay, and that's 1.15. Some changes, not too drastic, not a lot, but when you go from 1.12 to 1.17, the changes can be quite substantial. Particularly if you've generated one part of the world, then you go explore a different part of the world, and there's a huge disparity in versions. You'll find the correlation between the two areas don't match. So although the biomes will be similar, you can obviously tell there's been changes along the point. Um, anyway, this is 1.15, so bear with me while we change it to 1.16. Right, here we are at 1.16. Well, let's check out 1.16. Yep, instead of over there, we're over here now. So, as you can see, the respawn point is mostly in this area after 1.12. 1.12 puts you over there. Yeah, it's gotten a little wider by the looks of it. Bit of lava. Bit more lava. Mining more areas. It's changed a fair bit. Oh, still down there. Well, there's one area. The other area's here. Yeah, poor house was there. Yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't seem like it's made too much ingress except over here, perhaps. But yeah, it's still surprising. Well, we've got to look at this, don't we? Hello. Look at all that. It goes all the way over here now, and all the way down there. Interesting. Hmm. They making out? They look like they're making out. Yeah, they're making out. Okay. But yeah, there's changes. Couple of houses over here. Not the Woodland Mansion, but yeah. Market stalls here with a bell. More market stalls here with a bell. And no more churches. Blacksmith is over the crevasse. That's more or less, I think that's what blacksmith now looks like, but there was this place here, wasn't there? Yeah. Which is probably the actual blacksmith. And so, yeah, not sure what that is. I know there's an iron block in it. Yeah. Poor river looks like it's been drying up over the centuries. Hmm. got a church, and it's not going in there anymore. A house up there, but everything else is narrowed down a little bit. Hmm. Oh, yes, it was a crevasse. I don't even know what a crevasse is. I'm just using it for the sake of using it, I suppose. Oh, we didn't check out the seed, did we? There you go. Now you know. Oh, yeah. And still no village over there. Not a lot of changes happening over there. Come down and inspect these trees. Nope. Yeah, I dare say it was a Forge mod thing. It's not even that one. No. Beehive. Oh, beehive. Hmm. Next village. Hmm. Every time I do this, something else always takes my eye. It's always the case, isn't it? Like, I know I'm only flying in the general directions each time. But yeah, I'm trying to make it more or less the same. But yeah, the only witch's hut is over that way still. Yeah, it looks it. Yeah, way over there. I swear it's moving further and further away. And this village has two churches. Still got the feature tree though. Can't get rid of the feature tree. Oh, look at that, jeez. Gonna have a cave in on that soon. Looks like the cloud height's still the same. Oh, there we go. Nether portal. Well, destroyed one. Yeah. Then we go this way. Well, not quite this way. Is it just me, or does this look like a large swamp area more than usual? Got this village over here, which is moved around a fair bit. Shrunk over this side, but extended in some ways. It's like the village moves that way, then it moves this way, then it moves that way, then it moves that way. Oh dear, it's funny. But the wells usually don't change. Hmm. Oh, hello, bee. Mm. Yeah, I think this has gotten bigger too, to some degree anyway. I remember there's a tree over there somewhere that was surrounded by lava. Hmm. Can't see the structures from up here anyway. The lava might have been taken away or something, or changed. Oh, there's another portal. Destroyed portal, but yeah. Don't do that to me again. And what the hell happened to this village? Jeez. It's almost like they went through nuclear fallout or something. Half of it's gone. What do you look like? And then, yeah, there's 1.16. So, well, that'll do for 1.16. So we'll come back with 1.17. Then we go through some of the issues with 1.18. Okay, here we are with 1.7, 1.17. I'll look at what it looks like in 1.17. Have a look at the seed. So, voila. Hmm. Well, now we've gone further away from that spot. But yeah, a bit more hilly there. Lava, lava, lava. Going through a few changes. Yeah, a little signature there. Yeah, entry point still there, and the other one's there. Oh, that probably goes to the same spot, but it's these little changes over time that you don't notice when you're just upgrading your world from one to the other, expanding. And of course, the village shrunk, but also expanded it differently at the same time. So, even less water by the looks of it. Mountains come out a lot more this way. Oh dear. Oh, the crevasse was going all the way from here to all the way back here before. It's all getting covered up now. And that one's hanging off. Portal's over there. Next village. And this has changed a fair bit too. There's two churches. Oh, well, the well. Hmm, interesting. It's like blacksmiths disappear, other smiths come in, smiths disappear. Ah, dear. This is all changed again. Hello, lava. Hey. Hey. Oh, no. Okay. Right. That's probably what I was expecting to see over there. Hmm. Dear. Bit of lava over there, but no village. Same old trees by the looks of it. Geez, that has changed, doesn't it? Sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes it's not. Now it's really noticeable. Jesus. I'm sure there's a your mum's joke in there somewhere. uh, well, let's just keep it PG for now. Try to. May have to bleep out a few of my swear words after I preview all this. But yeah, still no, which is hard except for that one way over there. Okay, the street comes into a dead end. Uh, kind of literally. Hmm. But this is number of houses disappeared. Hmm. The feature tree is still there. That's what matters, isn't it? So imagine one area being 1.12, another area being 1.13, another area being 1.14. That's what it's like when you're on long time servers like this. That's widened up a bit. Oh, no, yes and no. I forgot what I've done. Oh well. He used to skim the swamp, but now it looks like he perused right through it. Interesting. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I should be a villager too. Hmm. Houses down here are gone. Hmm. Uh, market stalls. A few houses up here. Oh, a few more. Farm. Anyone down there? No. Oh, yeah, some farm. No. What? Hmm? Hmm. Oh, okay. Thought it was a house. I thought my house might have been in there, but oh well. Hmm. Hmm? I used to do a really good lurch, Adams Family stuff back in the 80s, well, 70s, 60s, 50s. Mm. Yeah, ceiling height seems to be still the same, doesn't it? Nether Portal. Thought I saw a witch somewhere too. Yeah, he goes for like, can't do it as well as I used to. Probably because I haven't been practicing it. It looks like this has narrowed back down a bit. Mm. Oh, definitely can't see any structures down there. Not like you used to be able to, because there used to be lava down there. Oh dear. I got the Nether Portal. Ooh, that changed a fair bit, didn't it? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, the village has expanded again. Oh dear. Expand, shrink. But there's a lot more farming area here. In the other places, the farming areas shrunk. Well, the number of farming areas shrunk. This one just exploded with farming areas. Two houses up here are gone, but there's still one house up there. Interesting. Hmm? Yeah, this swamp area shrunk again too. Okay, that's 1.17. Well, have a look at 1.18. I've tried to generate a world that with this same seed a few times in various ways, various conversion methods and stuff like that, which don't work. And you'll have a look, and then we'll probably go back to my world and get a fresh set of eyes on what has changed and what hasn't changed, because it's hard to understand how much has changed through these gradual changes that we've gone through. So now that we've gone through all the gradual changes, if we go back to our original world, you'll basically see 1.17, then straight back to 1.112. So it'll be a trip. It was the first time around. Ooh boy, put me through a loop. But anyway, that's 1.17. We'll have a look at 1.18. Then we'll go back to our world and have a look. Okay, here we are with 1.18. This is where we run into some issues, and I'll go to Bedrock one later. And maybe we'll have a look there, what happened when I tried to create the world. Yeah, these ones, I believe, are supposed to be based on the seed of this world, like all these are. Yeah. This one is, yeah, this is the same seed, but as you can see, it's, hang on, there we go. It's vastly different. This is largely because it uses a different algorithm. It's so that way this algorithm can be shared between Java and Bedrock. So either use the same algorithm. Why they didn't do that before? I don't know. Why did they have to have two different algorithms? I don't know. It might be a peculiarity of Java itself, and trying to convert that over to a native application can be quite tricky because Java doesn't have the same limits as something like C++, .NET, or what have you. .NET has less limits than C++, but there are still limits. Java does have limits, but it, in a way, it's more like a class object, and that's how um, Java programs are made, by object files, by objects, classes, and so forth. And some of the built-in functions in Java aren't available in other programming languages, and that's the purpose of Java in a way. Each programming language kind of wants to be the premier, the prime numero language, but Java requires an interpreter in most cases. There are some processes that will run Java natively, but they're not often used. But instead, we got system on a chip, like ARM systems that run Java, like on a mobile phones, or they run a variant of Java with different classes and objects. But yeah, I think it was the Fishner algorithm that Java used. Well, the it's a noise generator. It generates noise in sort of a pattern based on a seed value. Random number generators work off a seed value. If you randomize the seed, you can get them fairly close to a true random number, as long as you randomize the seed all the time, each iteration. Um, Otherwise, you just get a pseudo random number. My favorite one is to generate a table of random numbers and choose a seed from that to generate another table of random numbers and stuff like that. Uh, some of the ways I've come up with creating a more realistic random number generator is pretty can get pretty complicated, but the algorithm that most applications use is the Mersenne twistor algorithm, which is um, more or less implemented in pretty much every programming language for random number generators. So the fact that um, the Java one had this other noise generator algorithm makes me wonder why it wasn't able to be imported over to another one. So it might be part of a peculiarity of Java, which has difficulties being ported over to another class-based programming language like .NET. So it does make me wonder, because Java is based on the idea of to be able to run on any and every operating system imaginable. But as you see here, this world is nothing like the one we have. So since now Java and uh, the Windows 10 variant or Bedrock both use a variant of the Moonshine Twister algorithm. If not, they utilize the Moonshine Twister algorithm to generate a random number, but they still need another algorithm to generate the noise. And this is where the disparity between Java and Bedrock has always been. But now they use a very similar algorithm, but Java's version generates more villages. Like every few hundred blocks, you might have a village, whereas in Bedrock, it might be a few thousand blocks before you get to a new village. When I used an overworld map generator, online overworld map generator, and use this seed and for the Java variant of Minecraft, it had probably a good 20 mansions, a good 30 villages, whereas on the Bedrock one, none. And that's in the most zoomed out version of it, so which probably covers like 1024 blocks or something like that. So it's interesting. But they will generate similar worlds. We'll go through that in a bit. But this is one attempt at trying to generate the same world in 1.18. We'll just go back and have a look at another one. This is another attempt at it. Yep. This is based on a conversion factor, I think. Or it might be based on trying to convert it over to Bedrock or something like that. Can't remember where that number comes from, but it's supposed to be based on my seed. As you can see, in some aspects it's similar, but it's not at all. Like you generate near a river, and there's several rivers in my world, but yeah, landmass distribution, the biomes, it's all different. So yeah, I mean, you can almost say this is like 1.12 and this is like 1.12, I suppose. Like if I say build my base here, yeah, it still doesn't work out, you know. It's like if I build my base here, maybe could still be quite similar, but uh, it just does not have the same appeal, the same look to it. Like there's no villages nearby that we can see, or we can see a pillager outlet, a pillager over there, but that's about it. You can also tell that the world height's been raised here too. Well, been raised in 1.17 too. I don't know. I don't remember, even though I just did it. But yeah, this was one attempt, another attempt, second attempt. Try the other one. This is the third attempt, which was based on a conversion factor that I found online. And it has a village right there. So you can't spawn in a village. But again, it's nothing like it. Completely different world. It's almost like a snow-capped world. It just doesn't quite have the same appeal. I mean, it'll have its own set of challenges. You know, like with this one, you can borrow the resources of the village, so it's probably a little bit easier for most people. But no, I suppose I like the challenge. I suppose. But anyway, like I said, completely different worlds. We'll just have another look in this one. Yeah, I do like the sort of flat areas of this world kind of thing, you know. I'm growing used to it. And yeah, now you can sort of start to see how vastly different the upgrades have made this world. I mean, I'm happy to say that this world is unique. And that area is 1.12, and this area is 1.12 as well. That area is probably 1.13 or 1.14, and that area over there is probably 1.3 or 1.14 or something like that. And then you got a 1.18 area over there. Ah, jeez. But yeah, it's not like I dislike this whole idea. It's just that my nephew, I don't know if he's running Java or Bedrock, so I've kind of had to make sort of a judgment call. So if he's running Java, fine, we can continue to use this world, however inefficient it may be. If he's using Bedrock, then we can use the new world that I've generated, which we'll go through. I'll have to get a copy of the seed too, I think, because I haven't tried to generate it in Java. I don't think I probably have, but deleted the world. Even though I'm running, it's taking some time. But yeah, quite different, isn't it? So this area is definitely 1.12, and this area is definitely 1.12 as well. But there's no huge, massive, gaping gaps, and like the mountain ranges around here aren't that bad either. It looks like I might have gone through this at one point too. I'm kind of looking forward to building a new base, a new tower kind of thing. So when Christmas comes around, probably the day after Christmas, I'll chat to my nephew about what kind of world he wants and stuff like that, and what version of Java he's running, yada yada yada. Because he likes to play his games with Uncle. I'm Uncle, if you didn't know. I mean, the server's called Uncle Ogre. I wonder why. Yeah, it has a very different feel to it, doesn't it? From 1.17. Like there's no lava spewing out of the mountains here. There's no, well, I can't find any at the moment. Nether portals that have been destroyed. I distinctly remember finding one, but I can't locate it for whatever reason. Without no trees there. Almost right. Land masses here didn't seem to exist. The multicolored sea. Oh, there is another portal there. Look at that. I could have sworn there was another one. Like it's interesting, the kind of thing that's like, we know there's a village here, and we know that when there's a, yeah, right here, and we know that in the era that the Nether Portal was around, the village here was around. So, like I said, very unique. It would be interesting to keep it running. Anyway, we'll pop off here and have a look at the bedrock. Grab the seed from the server, maybe generate it in Java. Okay, I found the seed. I remember I saved it into a text file, so we'll generate the world now. We'll just leave it as new world, eh? Just use the same settings kind of thing. Yeah, I didn't do that, so just new name, game rules. Cancel game. Yeah, there it is. There's the new seed. So we'll see what it looks like in Java and compare it to what the Bedrock version is like, as opposed to what the online map generator was like. But yeah, this looks about right. Well, here anyway. Okay, so far so good. It's a little different. Like, that's the same. That's not. That should be over here. I think it's that one. Might be that one. Um, the that's a bit different, a bit wider, a bit bigger or something. That's about the same. There's no village there. There should be. Okay, maybe I got them mixed up. Maybe the Bedrock one generates more villages and mansions than the Java version. Or maybe Java mode is for the hardcore ones. But yeah, you'll find that in the Bedrock version, I think this hill is a little bit different too. Not by much. I built a house here, and that's why I know that this tree should be over about here, because this is where I harvested this damn tree over and over and over again. Every time planting a new tree right in the same spot over and over and over again. There's another one that I used to do too. That wasn't there, that tree. Oops. Yeah, there's another one somewhere around here. There's a few extra blocks here, I think. Maybe somewhere over here. Definitely not where these trees are. Well, there definitely should be a village over here. That's roughly the same, more or less. Yeah, that was there. That's fine. In the bedrock version, there's sugarcane growing along here. There's sand over there. A few sand spots like that. There was no pumpkin here, but there was a house in this spot. Didn't notice that. There. Yeah, this is different. Like all this was land and all this was sort of stone in along here, but there was an indent up here into the mountain. Not a cave like that, but more of an indent. You'll see. There was a farm right about here, I think. So all this was cleared away. There was a few houses up here and a couple of houses up there and so forth. Houses along here. Not a lot of houses, but enough. Let me just allow cheats. No. I should have just allowed cheats from the get-go, shouldn't I? But, oh well. Just make things a little easier. Don't know about that. This, I think, is mostly different. Not by a great deal, though. Because I came up here, started jumping up here. Yeah, that's about right. Trees are in different spots, though. Except up here, this seems to be mostly the same. I built a house. I think right about here, I think. It's hard to say because the landmarks aren't the same. But I think this tree is the same-ish. So I'll probably fill this in. Ish. Could have been here. Like I said, a bit different. And I know I started to build a house there. It didn't quite feel right, so I moved it over here. Or here. We'll have a look. Over here is supposed to be another village. Starting about there and coming up here. All the way up to about here. So nothing like that. That's about normal though. Same with that, I think. Mm, ooh, not quite. This river actually ran on for a bit longer than this. Sort of come to a dead end here. This is about right. Vaguely. Hmm. Should be a turn somewhere. But as you see, the game runs much smoother in the native. I think it's around here. That's right, we're running Java at the moment, so it's not native. This does look about right. Yep. Ooh, that's different. Hmm. Yeah. Where's my bearings? Yeah, I built a house here, which got blown up a couple of spots up there. Then I built, this wasn't here, farmland and stuff around here. But there's a village, it's supposed to be a village over there, so maybe the bedrock one is the easier one. But coming over here, like I said, this is different. You'll see how different it is. It's like, this is all closed off. This bit runs a bit longer with an overpass. This here doesn't exist. But this, mostly. Yeah, this is a bit different. Well, let's see if there's any. There's also a pillage tower over here too, allegedly. Yeah, village starts around here with a couple of huts, then goes along here with a couple of huts up here. And a tree with a beehive over there. Yeah, golem usually running around there. Even the pillage tower is not here. It's about here. Runs all the way down there. Should be another village over here and another one over there. But it doesn't look like there is any. We've got a destroyed nether gate. Yeah. A bit further. Yes, no, yes. No, no, yes. I think it's about here. Oh, that's different. Yeah, about here is where there's another village. I think. I think it did. Maybe not. I'm pretty sure I ran it a few times, but yeah, there's quite a number of villages, but yeah, I can't see any of them. I know there's supposed to be another village over this way. Hang on, this way. There's a village there. Well, that's new. There's a house underwater. A few houses underwater. Yeah, this is the problem with a lot of the villages. They don't quite get generated properly, and you often get this overspill. Doesn't seem to be one in my area, but yeah, there is. Just not in this version. It's interesting. The first time I've seen huts underwater. Yeah, there's the Nether Portal, which should be over here. It's connected to this land. And there's no village over here. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, we'll go have a look at the Bedrock version. Okay, here we are with Bedrock. For a lot of Minecraft users, this interface should look familiar. After all, it's the same interface that you get on iPads and tablets and phones and so forth. It's more or less the same thing. They're all Bedrock. So here we go. We'll load up. Not that one. Well, we can start with this one, I suppose. Or not so much. But you can see it runs a lot better, a lot smoother. And look at that it's not really generating, it's loading it up. That is still fast. Here we are. And before we go too far, should be about right. Yep. There we go. This is the starting point, basically. I'll put that sign there to help kids, nephews and stuff. See, this mound is a lot taller, a lot different. The other one was flatter, I think. Flatter, wider, and all that sort of stuff. Hello. And there's that tree I was talking about. Let me just change game mode. Game rule. I can change all these back at any point. Still not used to the interface though. I'll just say 1600. We know that's noon. Anyway, this is the house I built that I was referring to. It's got stuff in it as well. Like this is all stuff that I mined and created and all that sort of stuff. Some of it I've taken, but yeah. Now that's daytime, you can have a look a bit better. As you can see, this mound is probably a bit taller, a bit steeper. Whereas the other one wasn't. That's the starting point's down here, kind of thing. Right about here. I know, I'm showing my position at the moment because I was trying to diagnose a few things and there's a few other things. Like when I build something, I want to know how high I can build and build at a certain level and stuff like that. So I use that to measure how far above sea level it is and all that sort of stuff. This area wasn't quite suitable because it's all too hilly and stuff, but yeah, in the Java version, as you see, there's that rock. And the tree was over here, which it wasn't here. There's that tree that I was talking about. Yeah. Okay, maybe it was in the same spot. Yeah. As you see, there's no other trees around. I did not cut any others. Whenever I cut down a tree, I usually plant it back in place. So yeah, as you can see, there's a few little differences. So that's okay. That's pretty much the same. The biggest difference probably is this bit over here. I didn't get a good look, but yeah, this is all sand. I'm pretty sure there was all dirt on the other one. When I look, yeah, sand there. I'm taking a bit of sand off the shores here, but yeah, there's sugar cane. You know, most of these holes are here before I did anything. There's more sand, and I planted one of these, I think. There's more sugar cane over there, which I didn't touch. you see there's an iron golem. Here's a village. That cavernous area is just not here. Village, more houses, all that sort of stuff. So, like I said, it's similar, but not quite the same. You can see the other house that I built that's up there, which is why I came back up here, because you can, with the server settings the way they are, you can see it right from here. So, as the world continues to come in from the server, the view distance I think is set to 256, so and the tick distance is maxed out at 12. So you can see that the route that it's some similar, but certainly not the same. From an overworld map type of view, it doesn't make any real difference. Yeah, come up here, there's the plateau. Yeah, so I built it right here. But yeah, there weren't so many trees. Like the Bedrock version had more. The Bedrock version, this version, had less trees in this particular spot. Like I said, whenever I harvested a tree, I'd plant it back down. So I tried to find an area that didn't have any trees. So it's like, yeah, that's the tree that was pretty similar to the one in Java. So yeah, over here we got a village, which you can clearly see. Didn't see that one before, but the door to it is not buried yet. But as you can see, it's a very hilly area and snowy and stuff, and I wanted to get away from it. I wanted to be in an area with multiple biomes pretty close by, so yeah, that's when I went back home here, because yeah, actually, yeah, I used the farm over here quite a lot just to live, I suppose. I'd harvest the wheat right here, and then I'd go make some bread and use that to survive. Otherwise, I'd have to fight polar bears or something. Like, imagine fighting that, you know? Then you got sheep over here, which you had to, breed the sheep, wait for them to grow up, kill them, then eat them, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, a bit of a pain in the ass. But they did have some resources. I didn't take any resources from the village, but I didn't know this was here at that time either. So otherwise, I would have used that too. But yeah, did manage to get a lot of resources from the area, like seeds from the trees and stuff like that. So yeah, I quickly grew sick of this area being too hilly and all that sort of stuff, with the polar bears running around. Yeah. But yeah, I also didn't want to mine too much from one particular area like this area, where it's a starting point for the kids. They'll want to explore more and probably harvest a lot more. They'll probably want to build stuff around here and run off. And yeah, as you can see in the Java version, it probably cut off about here. But it does cut off, but it's not quite as bad. And then you got Nether Gate. The stone bit. Whereas in Java version, there's an opening here. This way. Now you're getting to see something. Yeah, I'll have to check those bits out. But yeah, this is a view distance that you can't get in Java. Oh, got disconnected. Just because it's a bit of a pain in the ass at times. Like the Wi-Fi is not the strongest in this particular room, so I've got to work on that. Like I probably said at the beginning of the video, we just moved in on the 15th of November. Haven't been doing streaming because it gets awfully fucking hot. It's like at 40 degrees or something, around 35 to 40 degrees in here at the moment. And that's just with the door closed and my computer running. That's how hot my computer gets. I touch it. I'd say it's probably around 26. I wouldn't say it's super hot. It's been hotter, but just being at 26, doing this for hours, it builds up the heat in here. Okay, we just need to let it, we can proceed this way. Because you can probably see a building there or just start making something out. That's where that's where my base is. So, as you can see, the area is quite similar. There are a lot of similarities, but this is also quite different. Whereas in the Java version, it goes out that way and back again. It's like a tri-prong. Yeah, as you can see, this is quite a nice biome area to be in because you got the forest over there, or jungle over there, and plains, I suppose they're called. Like you got several different biomes here, at least three anyway. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'd say three. But the other biomes aren't, that far away. But anyway, there's a village here, as you can see. Like, I don't think I've managed to find any dark oak yet, but yeah. Nice little village. I've sold a lot to these guys. There's the pillages I was going on about, which I haven't raided. I tried, but I died. Lost my leather armor in the process, but yeah, there's a Nether Portal there. Should be a village over here. I'm going the right direction, that is. Yeah, there it is. Whereas in the Java version, there was just a Nether near here. I think the Nether was about there, I think. Sold a few things to these guys, but not that much. Anyway, there's another village nearby too. If I wasn't moving around so much, the server wouldn't be sending so much data erratically. Because it's trying to load that area, then it's trying to load that area, then it's got to load that area and that area. Then I turn around, then it's got to do a 180 on all the areas. Should be just up here. There it is. There's one anyway. There's yet another one in the area too. I've been here a few times, sold quite a few goods. And they've all pretty much got golden mines on them too, so. Now, can I find the other one? It's the other one that is a bit tricky to find. Because it's not there's no direct shot, I think. I know I climb over mountains and stuff like that. That's the pillages. Oh, there it is. I've been here a few times too. So yeah, it's the bedrock one. So the bedrock one might actually be easier for my nephews and nieces and stuff. Okay. It's good to know that I had them mixed up, that's all. Because I've done so many things with Minecraft over the few days and weeks that it all gets mixed up in your head. But as a comparison from the world generation, not so much the villages, but the world generation is pretty similar. Not the same. Probably not even close. I'd probably say 75% of the terrain is close. Yeah, we've already checked that one out. There was in that's my place over there. Go this way. Yeah, in Java there was a village here, wasn't there? With the houses drowning in the rivers here. Uh, the reason why we're going this way is because this way there's the Nether Portal I was talking about, which was over here somewhere, I think. Or was it here? I think it was here. But yeah, there's another village right here, which I've sold a few things to. It's difficult to sell things like carrots, so you gotta level them all up and whatnot. Like, I think this one's still at level 1, I think. Yeah, and he wants 39 carrots rather instead of 22 for 1 emerald. Wow, what a bargain! We'd give you more, you'd give us less. Oh. But yeah, like most of those ones over there, like beetroot and potato when they're at level 1. And when you get to level 2, they're like melon and pumpkins. And level 3, anything but carrot. So I had to set out to find another village to try and find a place to sell other things like carrots and whatnot. Still haven't found a place to get rid of wheat per se. But we'll go back to the area. So there you go. If you want sort of easy mode, Bedrock. On hard mode, Java. Of course, we'll go back to base and assuming I'm going the right direction. Yeah, I am. Just not very fast. I'm wasting my time and your time. Jeez, what am I doing with my life? And just before we go, the cacao trees with their cacao chocolate, cocoa, just over here. Like 3 different biomes with like 4 or 5 different trees. It's like fantastic. There you go, right there. That's what those trees look like. And the ones that are fruiting are over here. Ones that are fruiting are over here. So yeah, that's where you get your cacao, which you make chocolate from, with a bit of milk and sugar. Well, in the real world, you make it from milk and sugar and cocoa. That's like 5% cocoa with milk and sugar, essentially. But yeah, but this is the place that I built. Still small, of course. The idea is to build a tower in here, in this area, more or less, or maybe expand it out a bit further. And I'm gonna see if if my nephew wants to help. Uh, and yeah, I got that from one of the cave biomes, which was quite interesting. Hadn't seen one yet because it's only been in 1.18 that the cave biomes were a thing. So yeah, I got yeah, my melons, my pumpkins. It was quite difficult to find all these because wherever I went, I couldn't find any pumpkins or melons or potatoes. Had difficulties finding carrots. Came across beetroot, and that was one of the first ones I came across. Then I came across carrot. Wheat you find everywhere. You just break these apart and get wheat. You'll eventually get wheat seeds. Um, Everyone in Minecraft knows that, basically. Yeah, so it sometimes takes a little while to get on, but oh well, none want to show up, so yeah. Oops. Oh, jeez. But yeah, there you go. I've got some pretty simple sugarcane. I had from the start because they were growing on along the beach kind of thing in the sand in the snowy area. Them I come across over here actually. I think it was over here. It was not far away though. Yeah, yeah. I just chopped one of these down around here kind of thing, then left the rest to grow. And yeah, all the trouble I had trying to find melon, and here they are. Eh? Same with all the pumpkin. I'm sure that everyone's been yelling at. But there's all these pumpkins, and you're having difficulties finding it. Yeah, it's different when you're on foot. You know, you can't quite see all these things when you're on foot. Flying through the air, yeah, you can see them. All right, village, going to the village. Beetroot, wheat. That's it. Go to the next one. They fooled me at first. I thought there was pumpkin up here, but they were just scarecrows kind of thing. Potato, carrot. In the first village that we went to, carrot and wheat. I think it was when I was fighting some enemies that I came across some random melon seeds, I think, and ended up picking up some pumpkin seeds somewhere. I probably killed one of them actually, because I think there were a couple on this side, and I was trying to pillage this place, and I think I destroyed a couple. But you are right, there are melons and pumpkins all over the place. I just couldn't see them, particularly when you're walking on foot. It's like without actually having to go literally every block. There's melons in that direction, but you can't see them, can you? So that's kind of the trick is to like you don't want to run around everywhere, particularly at night. So you've got to limit your trips to daytime, and there's only a limited amount of time, like 15 real world minutes or something like that. 5.5, and you're trying to find sustenance and place to sell stuff and place to buy, and trying to find livestock, for example. You're starving. You're not always looking out for watermelon. And like I said, you wander around, you can't necessarily see watermelon or pumpkin. Like, you look up this mountain. Without actually going up there, you can't see the pumpkins from here. And I know there are pumpkins. I think they're over there somewhere. You flew by them a few times, but yeah. We'll have an investigate. Okay, the first layer is about the same. The second layer, I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty massive. This isn't the one with the cave biome though. I think that one was over in that direction. But yeah, it's been rough. Like building all that from scratch. But I assume it's the most typical thing in collecting horses and breeding cows and finding all the different coloured sheeps and rabbits and ducks and all the things that you can eat, can't eat, can make stuff from. Sometimes you use, I haven't built any compost, but I probably should. But yeah, stuff to feed the animals with so you don't have to necessarily sell them. And it's a lot of running around on a single day. Like one day you'll be spend a whole day just doing that section over there, all doing actual farming. Then you got all the livestock for the next day. So it's been a process. I've been growing my own trees, which I don't have any to show you. But I've built up quite the inventory. I've mined and survived and died and died and died. But with keeping inventory on, it's a little easier. But I've got a few things, not much. I mean, bugger all the rest. I'm not wealthy or anything. Just, just the essentials. Like gunpowder, You know how essential that is. Particularly when you've got a crossbow. And got another bow, an enchanted bow, and another crossbow, and stuff like that. I've been selling them. I still haven't found a place to sell them properly, but yeah, I'll go over to that village over there soon. Yeah. A lot of the villagers have been getting sick of me selling them stuff, so I have to wait until they decide to accept stuff again. But apart from that, it's been alright. Been having my adventures and so forth, but yeah. As you can see, the similarities are there, just not the same. So, I don't know what to say about it. Assuming you've made it this far in the video, I do appreciate that you did. I'm sure you can make up your own mind which one would be better. Or how. I just find it interesting, that evolution. Like, between 1.1, 1.2, 1. If you take in consideration that they're in like game theory, there might be 10 years or 100 years in between each version upgrade. So that if you keep that in mind, it's like the evolution of the planet and so forth. Like if you assume like 700 or 7,000 years have passed, yeah, naturally the structure of the village and the world would change quite significantly. That's the way I like to think of it. It's quite interesting to see, but of course it's the end of an era, so we can't do that anymore. Which is unfortunate because of the change in algorithm and change in priorities and so forth. But it's not something I considered before. I'd always just, it would be nice if there was a way to merge the two together, kind of thing, the new and the old, to regenerate without regenerating, to get all the new upgrades on top, kind of thing, Like remove the old villages, put new villages in and stuff like that. Of course, there's only to some extent that can be done, because otherwise your buildings may, or what you've done, or what you've changed would be ruined. But yeah, it would be interesting if we could make something like that. I know you can regenerate the world and so forth, but still, you gotta make your backups, save the buildings that you want to save, put it in, and in the end, you end up with more resources than what you normally naturally would have had. So you end up with a world that has a few areas in one particular version and another area in another version and so forth, unless you stick to the old version rather than upgrading all the time, which is not always the wisest idea. Like prior to 1.5, 1.6, I think it is, there's security concerns with the hackability of Minecraft and associated servers, I assume. So there is that security issue as well. So there is a reason to upgrade, but not always a reason to stay with the latest updates. Like if you want to stay at 1.6 or 1.16 or 1.15, that's completely fine. But if you want to stay at 1.13, yeah, that's not advisable. So that's why you end up with these worlds that have the 1.12, 1.13, 1.14, 1.15. I mean, it is interesting to see them, but you could always get that mishmash, particularly the seams between the chunks, where one might have a cavern and the other one might not. They run into a brick wall kind of thing. There's always those world generation issues. Of course, there's steps that mitigate that, which have been already integrated, such as noise blending and so forth, which we've seen in work with Village, where there isn't technically no Village until 1.18. Yeah, I find it very interesting and could probably discuss it for eons. No, but yeah, I just thought it's not a side of Minecraft to see or talk about much, I don't think. At least I haven't seen or heard it. So I thought it'd be interesting to share perhaps my thoughts on it and how the world changes over time, like it would in real life. And it would be interesting to see that actually implemented in such a way that you could get those changes in the world environment over the period of time through the version upgrades. That would be fascinating. But of course, there's risks involved as well. So, from a programming point of view, there are ways to mitigate it, but it's a pain in the ass as well. So, anyway, I'll leave it here for now. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Keep tuned for more videos. I'm looking at doing some Black Dahlia, then probably doing some Bioshock after Black Dahlia, and try and get a new and old type thing going on. But then there's also the possibility of streaming with my nephew, which I haven't told about yet, but he wants to get into streaming as well, so we might end up doing that with him on a live stream, going through a few things, a few of the basics, see what style he wants to play. He wants to do Minecraft, so we'll play some Minecraft and all that sort of stuff. We'll probably play Minecraft first, then bring up the streaming and all that sort of stuff. And I'll probably start streaming when he starts playing Minecraft with me, and hopefully it'll be a blast for both him and I. I'll probably follow him around, watching him and whatnot, and we'll have discussions along the way. Like I said, I'll probably do it live. I'm undetermined about that. It depends on whether he's got an idea of what he wants to do with his name, I suppose. Like I'm going by Lunatic Mercenary. Some people use their real name, some people don't. So there's much to discuss. But do keep an eye on my channel for any new content that may or may not be of interest to you. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time, and I hope everything goes well for you in the future and in the not so distant holidays. Adios, amigos. Bonus footage. This is the world from the Java world imported into Bedrock using a specific online website. So yeah, this is the second village, and my tower's just over there. So yeah, it basically imports your current world into a different world inside of Bedrock. So it's got the seed of a different world. Ah, right. Oh well. Of this world here, which is probably the third one before we went to a new world. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, this is why it's an end of an era. One of it anyway. There might have been a chance prior to this world, prior to 1.18 maybe. Probably not, but oh well. Maybe some